Hey fam, what's good? What's good? I hope that you're all well and keeping safe. Welcome back to another one. In the comment section, let me know how was your week of trading. Was it a good one? Was it a bad one? Was it a mid one? Hey, let me know. I am curious, right? If you have found yourself following our analysis of last week, right, or just in general our analysis, you know what, you shouldn't be stressing that much when it comes down to PA, right? But later onwards we can find ourselves discussing that. All right, so for this week we do have another big one coming through, right? Especially for, or emphasis putting on Thursday and Friday, as we do have CPI coming through as well as PPI, right? These two news factors, they are huge, right? They have a whole lot of volatility, or they bring a whole lot of volatility within the market. So just be cautious when you find yourself trading on Thursday around about 2:30. This is obviously South African time, right? As well as on Friday 2:30, right? So if we can see some longs coming through, that will actually be really nice, right? Because we have found ourselves dumping like another actual 6% down, right? That is bonkers. That is crazy. But let's tap within the charts. All right, so looking at the charts, right? Looking at the monthly time frame, at least, you know what? We said that if we want to see price have a closure below this candle, all we want to see price do is come back into the candle and then have that shove back towards the downside, right? Did that happen? Yes, it did, right? And the cool thing about it is that you don't have to follow my word for it. All you can do is just head over to our previous content and find yourself, you know what, going through it. I don't know, like sometimes I wonder if it is YouTube that is just pushing the content late, right? Because I bump into someone who only got the notification on like this Friday, and he was just like, D, I watch your actual breakdown. I plotted down all the areas, and I see that, you know what, price respected those areas to the T, and I missed it. And I was just like, oh, all right. I honestly can't do anything about that, right? But I am trying to find myself uploading my content at one time, right? And that will basically be 5:30 South African time. So I'm trying to upload all my breakdowns at 5:30 so that, you know what, around about that time you guys can tune in and come and check out my breakdown, right? But nonetheless, we basically wanted to see this fun stuff happening and cool stuff, right? Cool stuff. Looking at market structure, we can see that we had a beautiful high, right? We came back for the pullback. Is this a proper pullback? Yes, D, no D. Yes, it is, right? Yes, it is. And then we find ourselves having a further continuation move back towards the upside, creating a higher high, right? We need to find ourselves having the pullback. The pullback is needed. It is necessary. We need it, right? Because the market just don't find itself having this shift towards the upside all the way always, right? And this candle can easily just find itself just coming all the way back down and then just find itself shooting towards the outside, right? But since we did find ourselves creating these two down close candles, you know what, to me that is like we are finding ourselves creating a proper correction, right? And with me basically seeing this candle coming all the way towards the downside, right, you know, it's some good news as well, because we still do have 24 days and, you know what, 14 hours for this candle to close. So there is still a lot that can find itself happening, right? Keep in mind that this is the monthly time frame. All right, now looking at market structure, if I can get out my foot from this low to the all-time high, just like that, boom, we can now see that price is where price is now basically finding itself tapping within an actual discounted area, right? So price is on a discount, price is finding itself being cheap. So all we need to find ourselves doing at this current moment is wait, right? Wait and see if there is any untested areas to where we can find ourselves participating in with some beautiful longs, right? And with us basically being within a discounted area, this is where we can find ourselves starting to prepare for some beautiful longs to find itself opening up, right? And we can see that the minus 0.79 area is lining up with a crucial area as well, right? These down close candles that we have found ourselves creating over here is also a BOB, right? A BOB is just simply a correction on a lower time frame, right? So on a higher time frame, this will basically be a BOB, All right. So with us basically having this BOB and with us having this fee value gap within the BOB, I'm looking at this area as a crucial area for price to find itself having somewhat of a tap within for a further continuation move back towards the upside, right? So from this fee value gap, I'm looking at this fee value gap as quite significant to where we can potentially see that actual shift back towards the upside, right? And from current price, that is around about 1,700 odd pips towards the downside, which is quite a lot. All right, so in overall long term, you know what, we may find ourselves coming into this area, you know what, we may not find ourselves coming within this area. However, this is a point of interest to which I can see is untested, right? So whenever an area is untested, I am looking at it as, you know what, there is that possibility for us coming within those areas and have somewhat of a reaction from those areas, right? So that's it for the monthly time frame. Let's scale to the weekly. So on the weekly time frame, we can clearly see that, hey, we are having a bloodbath back towards the downside, right? And we can see that we did find ourselves creating this beautiful BOB close below, came back for the retest. We had a shift back towards the downside, right? And if you are gonna follow our analysis, which we had over the course of last week, you will literally see that we have respected those areas to the T, right? To the T. However, what is done, right? Price already found itself playing out. The only thing that can happen over the course of now for each and every single one of you is to go back to those content, go watch it, right? And find yourself learning something from it, right? Find yourself having a clear understanding of what I mean when it comes down to an untested area, what I mean when it comes down to a BOB, supply, demand, etc., right? So that you can have somewhat of an idea what I am talking about when it comes down to my breakdowns, right? And also with price basically having this shift back towards the downside, you are also going to see some mentors all of a sudden popping up so that they can find themselves also, you know what, I don't know, like teaching or mentoring the move towards the upside. I'm not too sure about that, but yeah, you will see some mentors pop up as well. Mark my words. So we can see that we are having a huge shift back towards the downside. All right, now let's see what can potentially happen over the course of this week. All right, so clearly we can see that we are having these lows coming through, right? This low right over there, this low right over there as well, and they are quite relatively equal in my eyes, right? They're quite relatively equal, so I won't be shocked if we can see price have that actual shift all the way back down, back into these lows right over there, right? Because that is basically my sell side liquidity. Now, with me basically boxing out sell side liquidity, I need to have a magnet below price as well, basically telling me that this is an actual area to where we can have somewhat of a respect from, right? And just below price, we can basically see that we are having a beautiful BOB lining up right over here as well. All right, a BOB, boom, just like that. Keep in mind that this below price over here, this is from the monthly time frame, right? So if we will disrespect this BOB, you know what, you can just find yourself having your eye out on this area right over here. All right, so once again, with the exact same methodology or ideology that I'm finding myself having, right? When price is finding itself creating a lower low, right? What do you expect price to do after that? You expect price to have somewhat of an actual pullback, right? So with us basically finding ourselves then creating this lower low potentially over here, right, we need to see somewhat of an actual bounce back towards the upside. And based off my trading style, I need to see sell side liquidity being taken out, and below my sell side there needs to be an untested area or a magnet whatsoever to where I can be like, okay, cool, this is a potential area to where I can find myself participating in with price, right? And this BOB is it right over there. All right, so above price, really I can't say too much except for, you know what, this. Are you ready to take control of your financial future? Welcome to XM Brokerage, your gateway to the financial markets. When you sign up with XM, we're not just giving you a platform, we're giving you a boost. Enjoy a 100% deposit bonus to start your trading with a bang. That's right, double your investment. XM offers a diverse range of trading instruments to suit your strategy. Whether you're a seasonal trader or just starting out, you'll find something that match your interest. Our advanced trading platforms is designed to empower you with real-time data, customizable charts, and powerful tools. Trade with confidence and precision, knowing that you have the technology to support your every move. Ready to start off your trading adventure? Visit the link in my bio, and remember, your 100% bonus is waiting for you. Join us today and unlock your potential. Just to put it out there, when signing up, you are also finding yourself supporting our channel. So see you on the other side. Much love from me, your boy D. I'm out. Down close candle over here, right? Because simply we are having that low, we're creating that lower low right over there, right? So this area is serving as what? An area of resistance, right? So we can find ourselves having the pushback up for a further continue or a potential shift back towards the downside, right? But I like to see if there's any BOBs within our actual impulsive move back towards the downside, to which we are finding ourselves, you know what, creating, right? And then only I will come back and see what price I found itself creating previously over there. Okay, so let's scale down to our daily time frame and see what is happening within our daily time frame. All right, so first of all, let's head into our magnet and see if there's anything, you know what, sketchy going on or fishy going on, I guess. All right, and we can see that we have a BOB lining up right over there, so that is pretty much clean. And then below price, we do have a fair value gap lining up as well, right? So the fair value gap will basically be an area to where we can potentially see a further push back into. All right, so if I can maybe just box out that right there, can you guys see that I'm always finding myself just looking for areas within my actual untested areas, right? I don't care about below or whatsoever, right? But it has to be within my actual untested area, right? So that will basically be the fair value gap. Do I want to see price go as deep as that, right? No, I actually don't, right? But I have to still box it out as it is a potential point of interest, right? But ultimately, I would love to see us just have this actual tap within sell side liquidity, or taking out sell side liquidity, having the tap within the BOB, and then have somewhat of a reaction towards the upside. All right, so on my daily time frame, check this out. Low, lower low, right? We need to find ourselves having somewhat of a shift back towards the upside, right? And like I mentioned, I love looking at the impulsive move we find ourselves having, searching for a BOB, in this case searching for an area of supply in this case as well, right? And one thing we can see price found itself doing was creating a BOB right over there. Boom, right? These up close candles, those are the BOB we have found ourselves creating. We also have a little bit of a gap right over there as well, which we can also find ourselves coming back into, right? Which is also lining up within our BOB, right? So let's scale to our H4 time frame. All right, keeping it simple, guys, keeping it simple. Now let's look at what's happening within our BOB. So here we can clearly see that we have found ourselves leaving a beautiful breaker right over there. We never find ourselves coming back into it for an actual retest, right? So what I will find myself doing is just simply box out this breaker just like that, right? This is also a fake out right over there as well. So all I'm gonna find myself doing is just box out this area just like that, give it a little bit of a different color, boom, right? And that is an area to where we can potentially find ourselves having a further shift back into, right? So on our H4 time frame, if I can just maybe look at these candles, there we had the closure above, came back for the retest. So this up close candle, this BOB is invalid, right? This one over here, we had the closure below, we never came back for the retest. So what I will do is box out that area as is, right? Because this BOB right over here will basically be the first target to where I would like to see price find itself hitting into, right? If we can see the shift back up. The second area will basically be this area right over here. If we don't change market structure, it will be the third area right over there. Hope you have a clear understanding, right? So let's see if there's any magnets within our point of interest over here. Let's see. Let's see right over here, right? That is considered as an actual order block, still lining up within our actual BOB, so that is clean. Over here, you know what, not much to say, right? So this will basically be my analysis for this up and coming week when it comes down to the NASDAQ, right? I do want to see some upside finding itself opening up, right? I would love to see some upside finding itself opening up. So if we can see that actual shift back towards the downside, take out sell side liquidity, wait for some sort of an actual change in structure on your lower time frame, right? And as I made mention, this will basically be my first target, and then second target would be that region, and then third target will be that region right over there. All right, so that is my outlook for this up and coming week. Also guys, listen, don't forget that if we aren't going to find ourselves changing market structure, right, there is a high possibility for us then coming all the way back down, back into that monthly magnet we have found ourselves creating, right, for a potential further continuation move back towards the upside. And based off what price is presenting now, still that will be target number 1, target number 2, target number 3. All right, so I am primarily going to find myself looking for some longs opening up for the next, I want to say for the rest of the month, right, as we are finding ourselves tapping within an actual discounted area. Right, since we are finding ourselves tapping within a discounted area, I would love to see some longs finding itself opening up, right? But as if now, I am not too confident with saying the overall longs, but you know what, those little corrections, it's more than enough, right? It's more than enough. Check this out. From where current price is, that's more than 1,000 pips. From where price would be from this area, that's more than 1,000 pips as well, right? So you do have playground. That is ultimately what I'm trying to say. If we're gonna find ourselves having the shift back towards the downside, simply just stay away, right, and just wait for a change in market structure so that you can find yourself looking for some longs. Because I mean, if you are gonna look for some shorts, you are basically selling at a low. And if you are a person who's brave enough, right, and who wants to find him or herself doing that, by all means go for it. But me, Diego, I am gonna find myself looking for a change in structure on low time frame and seeking those long opportunities, right? And then potentially from my points of interest, if we can change structure, I'm taking price short all the way then. All right, so I hope you guys have a clear understanding of what I basically made mention. If not, please do let me know in the comment section, right? I will highly appreciate that. It's me, your boy D. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. I'm out.